Paid flights from the border to Martha's Vineyard for dozens of Venezuelan migrants last fall were just the beginning. This week, lawmakers will likely pass bills and a budget for the governor's plan to move migrants from anywhere in the country to anywhere in the country paid for by, well, you. The so-called Transportation of Inspected Unauthorized Alien Transport Program is among several bills to be considered in special session this week. It effectively cleans up and makes official the once covert migrant transports that are facing several legal challenges. One of those legal challenges filed by State Senator Jason Pizzo, Democrat now repping Northeast Aid and Eastern Broward, who is live right there with us today. We invited the sponsors of both the House bill and the Senate bill. Neither of them responded to invitations. So, Jason Pizzo, it is all you. Good morning.
Good morning, Glenna.
So, first off, let me just ask you if these bills and anything in the bills that are filed, which have a lot of support, by the way, and opposition, of course, do they effectively fix the issues that put this program into your lawsuit, at least 4 others? Does that render all the lawsuits moot now?
It shouldn't. So just by way of some quick background, slapped on the back of a very large bill, the appropriations bill, without going through committees and without being vetted, the governor's office asked for $12 million of the taxpayers' money, as most of us know from last September, to go and it was supposed to be to remove unauthorized aliens from the state of Florida.
Right. And they came from the border instead.
And they went all the way to San Antonio and flew people to Martha's Vineyard, just touching down at the airport here. So we sued based on a very narrow and very specific issue, which was they were creating new law, what's called on the back of the bill, without actually going properly through the legislature.
Well, that was actually, I'm sorry to interrupt. I want to make sure we get a lot in the short time we have together, but that was my question. So now it's going to be, by all accounts, by the support it has in a Republican majority and the governor's leadership, it's going to be his law eventually. And so now it'll be a statute that the state of Florida has the ability and the budget to go and move migrants. And the governor had said, proudly, it seemed, that, hey, it's a deterrent. Is he right?
He's not. And I can sort of disseminate for your viewers the hypocrisy of the whole thing. If we were actually doing things inside of Florida where dangerous returning unauthorized aliens were, I'd actually be in support of it. You know, you recall just maybe a little bit more than a week after the September flights out of Texas, we had a deputy sheriff in Pinellas County that was killed by the operator of a front loader construction machinery that was hired and was working for a contractor, working for FDOT. I mean, if that isn't tragic irony, I don't know what is. So we're not vetting our own people here. And most of your viewers know that if we actually went ahead and raided places, whether it's farms or people's homes with housekeepers, the restaurant industry, the hospitality industry, we could round up thousands of people who are here unauthorized. But the governor's not going to do that. And so, yeah, go ahead.
So, well, to your point, this bill is called Transportation of Inspected Unauthorized Aliens. So I think in the vernacular, when we talk about unauthorized aliens, it's migrants who come without the proper process. And so within the bill, it's a 2-pager, it's easy to read, it says, it will specifically involve migrants who are eligible for transport or those who have been admitted, processed, and released to await parole. So they would not be unauthorized at all. They'd be actually authorized by the federal government to be in the country awaiting parole. So then who does this bill cover?
The bill is going to cover people who actually have gone through that initial inspection. They may be awaiting what's called a credible fear interview if they're seeking asylum. But let me tell you what this bill is really doing. It seeks to go ahead and try to make our lawsuit moot for the up to 1.5, up to some reports $3 or $4 million that have been paid to one particular contractor. We're talking about $32,000 per person for the 49. It seeks to make that moot. The bill very specifically says all those payments were approved, and they didn't render a lot of service for that, and it's complete cronyism. But then this seeks to expand to basically say, now, forget the Florida nexus, right? We're talking about Florida taxpayer dollars. if there's rampant immigration issues, if they're creating a huge life safety risk for our citizens and our residents, great. Within the four corners of the state of Florida, I'm sure you can round up 49 people. But this bill actually seeks to expand, and let me tell you what it is. I don't think it's going to render our lawsuit moot. I think the judge is going to be, a little put off by it. I think the court's going to rule in our favor as we go forward. Really, what this is poking and tempting the Biden administration. At long last, when will the Biden administration come forward and say, listen, we handle immigration, you guys handle state issues? Glenn, if you need driver's license help, you call my office because it's a state issue document. If you need passport help, we call one of our congressional partners in the federal government. Immigration is the purview of the federal government. Now, I'm going to be the first to tell you that our immigration system is horrible. Okay, I think the border is too porous. I think, it's absolutely horrible. I'm the first person to admit it. But we need to raise our own children, as my father used to say, right here in the four corners of Florida. If we have legitimate concerns about safety, and here's the bottom line, and your engaged viewers know this better than anyone. These people are not taking jobs that any of our kids would otherwise have. Okay, I want to be very clear about that. For years and historically, it was they're coming in and they're undercutting us, and our wages are suffering because someone else. These are not jobs that anybody's going to take here, but it would cripple us. So the hypocrisy for me is, right underneath his nose, from Tallahassee on down, you can round up thousands of people who are here unauthorized, but they're critical to the state's economy. So he's never going to go knock on those doors.
So this week during debate, you brought up the contractor. Vertol Systems is the name of the contractor in Destin and connected to the governor and his staff. Right now sitting with what I could find in the records, $1.565 million, although there have been reports it's even more, for that one flight. Others planned and never taken, but that one flight last fall, to your point, $32,000 per immigrant to move. So because they're sitting,
Glenn, I can give somebody a full ride to Florida State University for $24,000, and we spend $32,000 per person to fly them from some other state to another state that has no nexus to Florida.
Understood, and but more than that, they're sitting with payments for services not yet rendered. Will there be an effort to get that money back, do you think, this week?
I'm going to ask for it, and I think what even the bill sponsor can't deny is our governor's never signed the front of the paycheck. He's never made a payroll. He's never run a business. Who else and where else other than political theater would you go ahead and make a $1 million payment, $950,000 payment, when it's against state process and procedure? You're supposed to get bids. You're supposed to have services performed. Deposits are okay, but it goes against what's there. He waived the whole contracting thing, seeks to do it again. How can you run any operation, government or private, by paying a contractor almost $1 million for services not performed, and no one's asked for it back?
I think that
obligation
might,
of us run.
Right. Yeah. I think that sounds like that may change this week. We will be watching. Senator Jason Pizzo, great to have you aboard today.
Thank you, Glenn.
Thanks.